This video is Potential Environmental Nuclear Bomb, the Disappearing Salt Lake. I don't know what the fuck this is, but the title got me. So we're gonna watch it. Great Salt Lake. What's UT? Utah?
¿Por dónde vas?
Ya casi llegando acá al sur.
Oh wait, what's
Mira,
UT?
güey, ¿cómo está para allá?
El agua se mira
They're speaking Spanish, I think.
tranquila, solo que no he visto nada todavía.
Si puedes, si encuentras algo.
See
algo de
anything,
tiempo,
please
porfa.
let me know.
Sí, para allá voy.
Roja.
Between the months of October and January, people like Omar Martinez head out on Utah's Great
Oh, it is
Salt
Utah.
Lake nearly every day to collect millions of pounds of brine shrimp eggs, which are sold as food to commercial fisheries around the world.
It's 7 in the morning, it's freezing cold. This is the last day of their season to make any money. This all used to be lake. They had to dig this trench just to get out to the main part of the lake to do their jobs.
Wait, what the fuck? Wait, it's so the lake's drying up. I think that's what was implied because they had to dig that thing to get out into the main, to the center of the lake, I guess.
So this season, has it been like other seasons?
No.
What's different?
Brine
The
shrimper.
level. The first obstacle that we faced was to get out.
You couldn't even get out of the harbor because the lake had dried up.
So it is
See all
drying
that
up.
sand on the
Yeah.
right side? We'll dig them out so we can make deeper.
Brine shrimping is big business in Utah. What we know as sea monkeys are actually microscopic crustaceans that produce tons of eggs each season. Harvesting companies bring in $60 million a year by collecting the eggs that float to the surface. But the Western Hemisphere's largest, saltiest source of water is disappearing. Low water levels make it nearly impossible for anyone to get out on the lake, particularly shrimpers.
Boat launch ramps closed due to low water. Entrance and camping fees still apply. Wait, how does that happen? It's a lake, right? So water doesn't really drain from it and water doesn't really go in it. Wait, is that how lakes work? Or water goes in but through underground means? So if it's drying up, it means there's no supply of water.
Where there used to be water, now is rocks. That's something that you can notice right away. The lake is dry.
Wait, that is so vast though. Like it's super dried. To be that vast, how?
right now.
That's
The
crazy.
lake provides so many things, not only salt, minerals for companies, provides a way of living for everyone here.
Are you worried?
Yeah, I'm worried because I love this place. I love the lake, If this is gone,
Like it's his
hard
life
to,
as well.
To get that picture for us because we sleep here, we live here, we ate here, we work here.
Yeah, it's his
This
life.
is home. Not only for us, animals, birds, they eat a lot from here.
So why is it?
Satellite images show the lake drying up fast. It's lost
Oh
about
shit! What the fuck?
satellite images
It went from that.
show the
Holy!
lake drying up fast. It's lost about 750 square miles of surface area,
What?
or about 2.5 New York cities.
It
That
got
massive
reduced to like
drop in
half
water
the
is
amount of
creating
water.
a huge ecological problem for Utah. Toxic sediment laced with arsenic and lead is sucked up from the exposed lake bed, forming dust clouds that worsen air quality and could lead to increased rates of asthma and cancer.
Bro, that sucks.
A disappearing lake is also making it harder for companies to mine minerals Americans use every day, like table salt and magnesium, which is used to manufacture everything from
How does
car
that
seats
happen?
to power tools and laptops.
Just global warming.
And conservationists are already seeing a decline in the millions of migratory birds that stop here each year to feed before making their way south.
They won't be stopping there anymore.
But brine shrimpers like Jeff Larson have seen this coming for years. Jeff works as a spotter for the brine shrimp industry. For nearly 2 decades, he's been flying across the lake to find floating eggs for shrimpers to harvest.
This year, the first flight out over the lake, it was shocking to me how much it had changed even from last year.
Bro, it's so dried up.
I don't know if we were going to be able shrimp.
Flight altimeter 3048 to altitude.
When the lake level gets low, the salt content gets up enough that they don't produce cysts and eggs as much as they should.
It's crazy.
I look at how many houses and buildings have been built in my life.
Wait, that's a nice shot though. Look at that. That's a nice shot. That's like wallpaper worthy. It's like a movie. Or yeah, it looks like a dystopian movie actually. Where everything's gray. Grayscaled. I like it. But it sucks that their lakes that their lake is drying up.
Lifetime, and it's easy double what it was when I was a kid. And I think to myself, how can we have enough water for all of these people?
As the lake shrinks, population is booming in Salt Lake City's metro area, increasing by over 70% in 4 decades.
So there's more people,
Most
less
of the lake's
water.
water is used for irrigation by the agricultural industry.
Okay.
It's crazy. This entire area
It's
used
for
to
farms.
be underwater, and now there's nothing here. I mean, the Great Salt Lake used to be a flourishing ecosystem, but experts say that high water usage, years of drought.
Wait. The concept of a salt lake means the water is salty in the lake, I think. I don't know. I don't know facts. I'm just speculating here. So is the lake salt water? So it's just ocean water that kind of got trapped inland.
Could cause this entire area to vanish within the next 5 years.
Conservationists and scientists are sounding the alarm. They're asking state politicians and residents to take more extreme measures, like reducing
what?
water use by up to 50%.
Wait, so this is where they get all their water? From here? I guess. Yeah, that would make sense. I live in an island nation, so we're surrounded by water. I don't really know the point of view of countries and places where they're just all inland and there's scarcity of water.
Definitely we're on the brink of collapse as far as we know the lake and the ecosystem.
I'm not saying the water we use is salt water, but it's just bizarre to me to think that there's only one source of water in that state, I guess. Is Utah State in that state, and it's drying out. I wonder what causes the drying out, if it's just because of global warming or just because of people using it. But when you use it, doesn't it go back or something?
System.
I don't know. I'm not
Scott
educated
Baxter
in that.
kayaks around the lake to measure its water levels. As a conservationist, he attributes the lake's low levels to farmers, whose water rights were cemented by law more than 150 years ago.
At what point does your legal right allow you to do something that completely wipes out an ecosystem and creates incredible hardships for the human population? We've siphoned off too much water from the tributaries for agriculture, and government officials that manage the water and the agriculturists just kept pushing forward because they didn't want to give up what they had.
I see. So farmers are using the lake water for irrigation. So they're siphoning it from the lake onto their farms to water their farms. And now the lake is losing its water. I see. It's like because they're farming brine. Is it that the term? Brine here. So they're draining a farm to essentially feed another farm. But this one's dying now. And if this one dies, the agricultural part dies. And it's going to be a chain reaction of bad things.
Is it fair to say that the farmers are the most responsible for what's happened?
Farmers have consumed the most water, without question. The biggest opportunity to save water fast is changing agriculture.
The way Western water laws work is that whoever claimed the water first has the right to use it first today.
Claim the water.
Some of the earliest settlers in Utah were
That's
farmers,
my water.
and so they claim a majority of the water.
How do you
To stop
claim
the lake
water?
from disappearing, some longtime farmers like Joel Ferry have developed systems to return some of their water back to the lake.
So I'm actually going to go pull boards on other spillways to spill it into this main channel. So this is going
Okay.
to rise up.
The system is set up so that excess water runs off into rivers that feed into the Great Salt Lake. Joel's not just a rancher. He was also appointed by the governor to head Utah's Department of Natural Resources, combining what might seem like two opposing positions.
A lot of people point the finger at the farmers. They're the reason that the Great Salt Lake is in the shape that it's in today. Is that accurate?
Human diversion, so people diverting water from the lake, is the majority of the reason of the drop of the lake elevation. And a majority of that is coming from agriculture. One of the fundamental policies of this Western water law is the idea of forfeiture. Use it or lose it. If you don't use your water, you will lose it. You're going to forfeit it. You have this disincentive.
Or it's an incentive to use it all in any way you possibly can. Or you lose it.
So it's an incentive to not.
So it's use it or you lose it. But if you use it, you still lose it in a sense, because you're not gonna have a lake anymore to have water to use. It's like a losing battle, to be honest.
Not conserve, right? It's incentive to use every bit.
Scientists, conservationists, experts, they've all pointed to this 5-year destruction.
As well as conserving water is just mitigating damage at this point, because you're still gonna lose water unless they can find a way to refill the lake, which is what I see is the only solution to save the lake. Then it's just a losing battle. It's gonna dry up whatever they do.
Disappearance of the lake. What's your perspective on that?
To say it's going to dry up in 5 years, I think is alarmist and almost defeatist.
You have described what's happening on the lake as an environmental nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
Well, what I said was it was a potential environmental nuclear bomb. If we don't take action and we don't make the investment, we're in trouble.
Yeah, they need to refill the fucking lake.
We invested over $500 million into that lake last year. We're going to do the same this year in conservation and in improvements to the ecosystem of the lake.
But is it all too little, too late?
I'm very optimistic that the efforts that we're making are going to save the Great Salt Lake.
I wonder what efforts those are.
Even so, it's a last-ditch effort to reverse decades of catastrophic human impact.
You know, I always thought the lake was invincible. We've thrown everything at it we can. You know, we have mining on it. Sewage gets treated and put in the lake. You can't be worse to the lake than we have, and the lake's doing well. And when I saw this, I realized, you know, the lake is in jeopardy. This lake really could die. The lake as we know it could die, and that's what's happening.
It's a scary thing.
I'm Michael Lermont, editor-in-chief of...
I can only imagine, what if here in the Philippines, what if the Taal Lake suddenly dries up? It's gonna be scary. Because if the Taal volcano erupts, there's no stopping, there's no lake surrounding it anymore that's gonna cool off that magma. And it's all just gonna, I guess it's gonna pour to the underbelly of the lake. But, you know, still. A lot of people are gonna lose their livelihood if Taal Lake dries up. That's gonna be, because that's gonna have a major impact on the economy, because there's a lot of fish farms there. It's crazy, dude. A whole ass lake just drying up. It's a huge lake. It's not like it's a pond.
Vice News. Too often, traditional news outlets shy away from the real stories and experiences of those living through global conflicts. Not Vice News. Our reporters are on the ground, fearlessly covering the human stories that shape our world. You and millions of others can continue to read, watch, and listen to Vice News for free. But we hope you'll consider making a one-time or ongoing contribution of any size at vice.com/contribute. Every contribution, no matter how big or small, helps support the journalism Vice News brings to you every day. Thank you.
Okay. That was potential environmental nuclear bomb, the disappearing Salt Lake. That's crazy, dude. Major changes in environment is scary, because once you notice the impact it has, usually it's too late. You can't fix it anymore. Or if you try, it's a losing battle. That's why, as much as possible, we need to, I don't even know. How do you conserve? How do you save the environment? Recycling? I recycle, but I'm not sure if I'm making an impact, you know? It is what it is. It's a scary thing because it impacts the future.